know you guys had a chance to, hear from Quace. We're really excited about Donovan Jackson. The process that I think that led to selecting him tonight, really well done by our group and the collaboration of everybody involved. And can't wait to get him here. Guy that is yet another national champion that we're able to select in the first round from a program that played in a lot of huge games and against some of the best competition that college football has to offer. And he had 40 starts and just love everything about his play style, his size. He's got length, he's got power. And then the little things that sometimes jump out at you about a player. Willingness to just jump over to the left tackle spot, and the very next week, he's blocking the third pick in tonight's draft and competing his tail off and didn't necessarily need to do that in a year where he was going to be drafted and evaluated the way he was. So a lot of things that we're very excited about. The idea of Donovan walking into that O-line room that now has some pretty impactful players across the board there, something that was a goal. And I think tonight really put a stamp on a plan that we set out to accomplish. So compliments to everybody, really excited about him, and I'll open it up to you guys.
Kevin, you mentioned that putting a stamp on that plan. I think we all heard you after the Rams game about the interior of the offensive line.
Yeah.
Was it realistic in your mind as the days progressed after that you could go boom, boom, boom and hit all three of those positions, or is this exceeded what you thought might be reasonable?
Yeah, I think probably exceeded from a standpoint of free agency is always such a you can have all the wants that you possibly can after you go through the evaluation process, but the beauty of our last two free agent cycles has been being able to identify players and then getting the players to become Minnesota Vikings. I think it speaks to our players, what they've built here, the culture in our locker room travels. People know about it, players hear about it. But what that allowed us to do is really, with two really successful free agencies back-to-back now, that allowed us to really go into this with a mindset of adding the best available player that just happened to be also a player that fits a spot and gets into a competition now to really have a group that I think has a chance to be one of the better O-lines in football. And there's something to be said for where our division is and how we've learned over time how people defend us, and the ability to win consistently at the line of scrimmage is going to be something that I think bodes well for not only our ability to run the ball, but our ability to throw the football as well, when people feel like they've got to try to do different things than maybe they have in the past to defend us. And I think our skill players, the group we have, speaks for itself, whether it's at the receiver position, the tight end position, the running back position, all of which, when you're projecting and really looking at your group as a whole with an identity of making each other's jobs, whether it is a receiver or a young quarterback, whatever it may be, we're trying to have the best possible group we can to be competitive no matter who we line up against. And I think Donovan gives us a chance to continue that progression through this offseason and now go to work, in addition to hopefully adding three more really good players the rest of the weekend.
So did you talk to Ryan Day about it?
I did, yeah. No, between Ryan Day, Chip Kelly obviously is the offensive coordinator. He's now in the NFL, so he was a little tight-lipped. But no, you could just say, having experience, knowing a little bit about the system. It was a few years ago, but, still some things that show up. And then I think the process, whether it's, initial interactions with him at the Combine, hosting him here on a 30 visit, where I got a chance to, in a one-on-one setting, just watch tape with him and really confirm a lot that was on tape, confirm a lot that you think about the player when he made kind of the switch that he did. What was that like? Why did you do it? And you hear, some really good things about his teammates, about the big picture, about how much they all meant to him, and what the team needed is what he wanted to do to help win. And I think that's validated in a player being in the kind of year, such an important year for him, and to be willing to do that. And then I think a great thing about evaluating Donovan is you got to see him playing against some really good players. And not only just at guard when he made the move to tackle, You know, I think the first start he had at left tackle this year was against the third pick in the draft tonight, who we know is a special player, and the ability to show up and compete the way he did. I just think it speaks about who he is, his makeup. And then, you know, he's a big, strong guy with length. And in our league nowadays, you know, every single team, it feels like I talk to you guys every week, and it's another week where I'm talking about interior impact defensive players with length and explosiveness and athleticism. And you have to be able to combat that with, you know, strength and the body type like Donovan has. And then envisioning him, you know, being on a front with potentially Ryan Kelly and Christian Darrisaw, you know, Will Fries and Brian O'Neill. That's a pretty formidable group on paper. We got to make it come to life on the grass.
Kevin, you mentioned the plan. Is that something that was kind of in your minds before that Rams game, or how much of that comes as a result of the way the Rams game went?
No, it's not a direct reaction to any one thing. I think the one thing in reflection of not only last year, but, you know, my job is to constantly be an evaluator of, you know, the totality of our time here, what it's been like for me personally as the play caller, directing the offense, but also how we play football games, how we play complementary in all three phases, and just looking at it from a standpoint of, you know, what winning football looks like, and what being a team that is worthy of, you know, competing to win a world championship, what that looks like, and scheme. And, you know, it's exciting to draw routes up on a board and, you know, come up with new ideas, and that stuff's been great. And we've done a lot of really good things here, but time and time again, you know, you continue to think about the ability to get that yard, the ability to go be physical in every game you play, regardless of the opponent, the ability to have a collection of 5 guys up front playing as one with the type of skill sets and physical ability we have now gives me really good feelings about what we can be, not only this year, but beyond.
Jim, what are the emotions for you on draft night, like in the lead up to a pick like that?
Yeah, it's